Overpass is an ancient map in CSGO, and no, not that ancient. It has gone through many changes since its initial release in 2013. A good Overpass team will be determined by their IGL, as it requires a sheer amount of skill in mid-round calling and team management. Luckily, there is a leader out there that is almost certainly in everyone's top 5 IGLs. Heya I'm Smirky, and today we're going to look at Karrigans FaZe ClaN and how to default and play on the T side of Overpass, so let's begin. Karrigans FaZe will consistently start the round in a different formation each round. One round they may do a 3-1-2, and next it may be a 1-1-3. When I watched their demos, there were so many different formations they use. Some constantly, some never again. You're probably wondering,
the numbers, Mason, what do they mean?
They represent a formation in a default, starting with A, then connector, then B. But to make it less confusing, I will group them into 3 different categories and include the formation in the top left corner if you wish to know. In FaZe's Overpass, you can imagine there are a lot of moving pieces, with some players who mainly play connector may go to B one round, then A next. But there are 2 players who will always stay in their position no matter the default, and that's Twists, who plays playground/fountain, and Rops, who lurks around B, whereas the other 3 members will be in different positions throughout the half. Also worth noting, Karrigan may call a default if he wants to go to that specific bomb site later in the round, but you can always use his default to show a lot of presence before rotating to the other bomb site. Let me show you the 3 types of defaults. Starting with Heavy A, it's common for FaZe to do a 3-1-1. In this default, the first player will try to get into playground, and it's best to throw a flash towards party to get rid of those pesky AWPers. Their main role is to hold for any long pushes, and once they feel comfortable, they can venture out for map control. And in this round, Twist is going to be the second player, and he'll be getting ready to smoke the Molotov towards ramp. Soon as the Molotov lands, he can put it out, allowing his players to find mid without any interruption. From here, they're going to wait for any potential CT aggression. It's worth noting from this position, Twist can Molotov party, which I will show later. But once they feel safe, they're going to start pushing up. And it's worth noting they have a lot of different ways to take map control, but in this round, a Twist is going to smoke toilets by aiming here and left click throwing. And then you'll get a supportive flash from Karrigan to peek party. But commonly in these defaults, they're going to be quite slow and not use a lot of util. This makes it hard to understand where they are and if they're still getting A control or rotating to the other part of the map. But once FaZe gets party control, they're going to do this boost, which I'm not a fan of as it seems very difficult to get a kill. And with the other 2 players, Rain will commonly be in charge of connector, but may swap with Brokey at times. Once Rain throws his connector Molotov, he's going to get into this corner right here and just wait for any aggression. And for Mr. Cool, he will always default towards B and does his Molotov to deny any short aggression. I'm not going to show you too much detail on what Rops does in this video, as I might cover him in the future, and there are plenty of nerds who have already covered defaulting short videos. In round 14 against Ends, we're going to see something similar. Twist is going to put out the Molotov from the CTs and wait for the playground Molotov to go. From this corner he's going to Molotov party, and I really like this lineup due to how safe the lineup is and how easy it is to peek off it. Once the Molotov is thrown, Brokey and Twist will be slow towards playground, not making any noise or overstepping too much. In a second, Karrigan will use the same flashbang as before, and Twist will get the opening kill for FaZe. From here they can decide if they want to push towards the A bomb site or rotate towards B. And while this is all happening, Brokey's holding long to hold Twist's back. Maybe instead of being passive and holding for playground, you can switch it up like FaZe in round 10, and slowly creep up towards the wall. In this round, Karrigan and Twist will go up the wall together while Brokey watches over them. They're going to use very little util and contact up, which should surprise the CTs if they're trying to default as normal. Once they reach the stairs, they're going to do this boost where Twist will jump onto Karrigan's head and will have a nice view of divider and toilets. And if you're lucky, you might be able to catch a CT trying to fall back towards the A bomb site. They're going to disassemble the boost, make their way through mid, and Twist will check con, whereas Karrigan will hold toilets. Then they're going to freeze, potentially waiting for either a push from the CT side or a call from Karrigan. Now let me show you some defaults where they took a lot of A control really quick. In this round, Win is going to smoke off Condor to allow Rops to be a bit more safe as he takes short control. Once he gets into position towards sandbags, he's going to let his team create a lot of noise on A, and when the time is right, he's going to lurk out and secure a 2k. Meanwhile, the A players are going to take a lot of A control in pairs of 2s, and leave a few lurkers to hold for map control. In this round, Karrigan and Twist will throw util towards party and flash towards long. These pieces of utility should force the CTs away from their positions and back towards their bomb sites, and with this long control, they can use it to take toilets from long and mid. From here, Twist will stay long and Karrigan will wait for Brokey. And during this round, Brokey and Rain will be a pair towards Fountain, working their way towards mid. Brokey is going to Molotov party using the same lineup as shown previously with Twists. He's going to wait for a potential swing from the Molotov and will then push up with Rain. It looks like they're waiting for Karrigan to get into toilets, but once they do, Rain will flash the toilet entrance to get those CTs off those angles and watch connector from party. Meanwhile, Brokey will get ready to pop flash Karrigan into toilets. It's worth noting with all this utility, it makes the CTs very aware on where you are, however you are heavily reducing the space they can play from. But the last map control they're going to take in this round is Divider, and this will be done by Rain flashing for Brokey to peek. Once he takes this, Karrigan can either decide if he wants to rotate towards B and use the map control to scare Ents, or use it to his advantage and push A. I really liked how FaZe systematically took control of A by going through the map one by one in pairs of 2s, allowing the trades to be close by if needed. And by taking long then mid, it doesn't give the CTs the best chance to hold toilets and forces them back to the bomb site. If they wanted to try and reclaim map control, it would be best towards B, where Ops is hiding towards short, where he's commonly towards monster. And here's the last default I really liked from FaZe on a heavy A. In this round, FaZe are going to be loud and fast about taking A control. And Rain will start with some supporting util. He's going to smoke toilets by standing here, crouching, and aiming at the shadow and jump throwing. And then molling Divider by going to the step, aiming above this railing, and jump throwing while tapping W. These pieces of utility will deny Shiro vision and make Axel unable to fall off without using his HP or a smoke. I did struggle to replicate this molly, but thanks to Ogno, he showed me this lineup. If you put your crosshair between these two dots, then do a run-in jump throw, I'll put the binder in the description if you want it, you should be able to do this every time, and eventually I could do it without the scope. Now let's look at the more exciting roles. Karrigan's going to be entering in this round, and he will throw a smoke towards the Molotov like this. Notice he threw the smoke as far as he could. This prevents the ramp from being easily smoked off, and allows your players to go through playground or around it, but will alert the CTs of your presence once you put it out. From here, Karrigan will barrel towards mid, with supportive flashbangs on Brokey, and Twist in the rear ready to trade. Once he peeks, he gets the opening kill onto Axel, and will take Divider control. The impact from Karrigan will cause the rotations from the B bomb site, allowing Karrigan to make his next move. As mentioned before, Twist will be right behind him because, well, who wouldn't want an aim god ready to trade you? But once Karrigan gets the opening, Twist will watch Karrigan smoke fade, as he might be able to get a kill just like in this clip. Now let's take a look at some balanced defaults. These defaults can be really effective in surrounding A, as you can come out of connector and stairs. And in this scenario they're just pushing B short, the two players in con can react to that and even get support from Rops. When it's a balanced default, there will either be a player supporting the con guy to help get control, or Brokey overlooking the con guy as he takes control. In this round, Karrigan is going to throw two supportive flashbangs to help take control. Once they get control, Karrigan will go up slowly, whereas Rain will stay behind to deal with B, but could stick with Karrigan if he wanted to. When Karrigan gets to the top, you will see he's going to clear his angles really carefully, while doing it with very small jiggles. If Brokey or Twist had a flashbang, they could flash above con to help get him out. But in a second, Karrigan will feel comfortable, will smoke off toilets, and peek Divider. With this control, he's going to hold for a potential push, meanwhile Twist will get the kill once the smoke fades onto Spinks. In this scenario, Twist lost his fight, Karrigan could have easily swung behind him to get the trade. Once Twist gets the kill, Karrigan will get activated, get a kill himself, and push onto the bomb site. And while all of this is happening, Broky's going to be looking over them, just in case. In round 6 against players or now we're going to see something similar. Karrigan is going to join FaZe and gain control and will flash him in. Once they gain connector control, Twist will smoke off toilets from Playground and will flash the connector guys out, allowing him to take divider control. In this round, Broky is going to join Rain in getting connector control, Rops will go for short control, and Karrigan and Twist will go for fountain / party control. When getting connector control, Broky is going to watch for a con peek, meanwhile Rain will smoke off the door which Cloud9 blew off. I'm guessing he did this because he didn't want to get peeked from short, and he doesn't want to get cut off by a boost. When Rain is taking con, he's going to do this Molotov. This molly should clear the nasty corners, but doesn't quite get under the stairs, whereas if he did this molly, it would. After the molly, Rain will wait for a peek to come in, whereas Broky will help Rops holding short. While connector control is being taken, Twist did the party flash for Karrigan, but because IGLs was behind the wall probably expecting it, he'll get the kill off it. If this worked for FaZe, it would be really dangerous for Cloud9, as they just lost an A rifler and can easily flood out of party and connector. But from here, Rain will try to push out and try to find the trade, but unfortunately it doesn't work out for him and he will play a bit more safe. Now let's take a look at our last default, which is a heavy B. This default can be used to either gain a man advantage, gain short control, or fake a normal default and lead it into a B execute. Starting with the nade stacks, FaZe has nade stacks for either CT or bridge. In this round, Rops will put out the short molly to make it seem like he's taking it. All the FaZe members will line up their util as shown right here, and once they're ready, they'll run and jump throw. These nades will land on top of Diaz's head, and he's very lucky to be alive. From here they can go default as normal by either taking A control or going con. While this was happening, Twist on A was holding fountain, preventing the CTs from gaining map control as a response, and Broky is waiting in con. Against Cloud9, we're going to see something similar. Instead of nade stacking CT, they're going to dunk them on bridge. They're going to get themselves lined up, and once ready, run and jump throw. But it is worth noting, Rain does miss his nade. Here is the lineup for Rain's nade. If they waited a few seconds, it would have killed Nefany. After the HEs, they're going to go into a 2-2-1. Now for some short takes. FaZe can do a heavy B to switch up and take short control. This can be very effective if the CTs are actively fighting for it, and you might surprise them. In this round, Rops will do his default Molotov towards short and will entry. Meanwhile, Karrigan will throw supportive flashbangs, and Rain will be close to Rops. They're going to start slow, probably waiting to see if the CTs will take short control, but when they're about to take it, Rops will throw the smoke which will power any late Molotovs and give him a bit of a one-way. Once he's out, he's going to make sure Ents isn't doing a boost, and when he feels safe, he will do a boost with Rain. Notice Rain is standing when doing this boost. As the player boosting, you don't need to crouch, as the player on top can crouch jump on top of your head, and if you crouch you might just get him killed. But from this boost, they don't get anything. In round 14, we're going to see a short take, but with some variations. Instead of joining Rops, Rain will go through connector with Broky watching his back, and will then smoke the stairs to deny vision from the CTs, open the door and peek out with Karrigan's flashbang. Meanwhile, Rops will do his default Molotov, make his way over without using any utility and peek with the flashbang. If a CT was to push, they likely won't be expecting to be attacked from 2 different positions, along with this annoying flashbang. I noticed they were doing these short takes when the enemy team was on an eco. Likely this is because they don't want to give a map control to the CTs. It can be a much easier area to take than against rifles. And if they just leave one rifle on A, he can deal with the USPs at long range. As I alluded to many times in this video, Karrigan can use a heavy B to later exec on the B bomb site, or do a heavy A to later exec on A. In round 11 they're going to take short control and wait around, but during this Twist will get contact from 2 CTs and Karrigan will challenge the B bomb site with some utility. Either he's doing this as a reaction to Twist getting contact, or he's wanting to bully their util out before pushing. But after waiting for everyone to group up, they will execute onto the B bomb site and win the round. I'm going to show you the executes towards the end of the video. In this round, Cloud9 are ecoing, and FaZe will do a heavy B and take short control, while leaving Brocade to spot mid. FaZe will consistently use a heavy B for anti-ecos, and in this round, since Cloud9 will have very limited util and weaponry, it should be easy enough to execute onto the site, and will be theirs for the taking. I just want to quickly show you some ideas I saw from FaZe use to help take A control that wasn't already in the video. These are mainly about sandwiching Con and taking long. In this round, Twist and Karrigan will be together and Shiro will attack them. You have the perfect chance to get him and Axel killed as they're doing a 2-2-1 and they're ready to pinch. Rin is going to throw a molly towards the bottom of the stairs, whereas Karrigan will throw one from the top of the stairs, along with Brocade throwing some flashbangs. From here, Karrigan will swing out. He will die, but the lower 2 Con guys will swing out and get the trades. In round 13, we're going to see some more connector control where Rain and Brocade will be together. Rain will jump through this molly and force Hobbit out of position. From here, Rain spots Hobbit and gets the frag, but he is lucky to get it as he did jump and it could have cost him his life. In this scenario, Rain died. Karrigan up top can help get the trade with Brocade who's down below. Now for some long control. In this round, Brocade and Twist will throw some very basic flashes to get players who are deep and close along away from their angles. With these flashes, Twist will run down close towards the wall to make sure he doesn't get picked off. Meanwhile, Brocade will be out wide waiting for the peeks from either the corner or toilets. Once Twist is up long, he will make his way through toilets and hold. In this round, we're going to see another long take, but with more fancy util. Twist has already secured fountain control and will molly tree from party. From here, Brocade is going to flash close, and Karrigan, probably hearing the call that they're going to take long control, is also going to throw in his own basic flashbang. Once the utility is thrown, they're going to use the same pathing and later execute onto the bomb site. Now let me talk about the rotations FaZe will make to the different bomb sites, and why and what causes them. In this round, Twist will get pop flash into party and get the opening kill. From here, FaZe is going to rotate towards B, meanwhile the CTs will actually over-rotate towards A. Commonly this won't happen in an average game, but you are very likely to cause one player to rotate from B to A. If FaZe was quick enough in this round, they could have executed onto the bomb site with 0 players holding it, but Ents will rotate back while FaZe execute. In round 4 we're going to see something similar, where FaZe will take fast mid control during a heavy A and get the opening kill onto Axile. Cloud9 will respond by killing Robs, and FaZe will react by sending all but Karrigan to outside Monster to regain control and later execute onto the bomb site. Karrigan is going to be fantastic in this round as he will be heavily pressuring the A bomb site. Twist is going to throw the smoke, which can allow the T's to creep up behind it and get ready to execute. And Karrigan will get even more impact as he gets the kill onto Nafane. With this, he's going to molly bank, which actually prevents Shiro from falling off, and all this pressure will force Inters to rotate, where FaZe can stroll onto the B bomb site. In this round, FaZe are going to do a heavy A and later rotate towards B after selling a lot of pressure and Karrigan dying. FaZe will run a ramp and two of the players in Twist and Karrigan will go long. Meanwhile, Brokey will smoke toilets to help gain toilet control. Karrigan will try and go for a pick on A but will die. As a response, Rops will smoke off bins to try and sell a bit of a fake, and everyone will rotate through con. They're going to burst out of connector and get short control. With this, the CTs know where they are, so they're going to try and push through Monster onto the bomb site. It's possible if a CT spotted a T on long, a player from B may rotate over just in case. Meanwhile, FaZe would have already made it down con to challenge short. Now you've done your default and the CTs are hiding in their bomb sites, how do we get them out? Let's have a look, starting with A. In this round we're going to see an execute come in from long and mid, and this is going to be really effective as you flood in from two different openings, and you take away that space which the CT should control either of the two. Brokey's going to jump throw this molly for truck to get the CTs who are hiding forced out into the open. From here, Brokey will throw a bank smoke while running. It doesn't line perfectly, but it does limit the space where the CTs can play, but this is what it should look like. Rain is going to throw a bin smoke along with a loosey-goosey flash to support his teammates. From here, Twist will push out with Karrigan towards truck, but Karrigan does get a bit sloppy and doesn't check Van, and that's where the round will snowball for Cloud9. Maybe you don't have anyone long, you can use an execute like this. In this round, Brokey will smoke bin, molly truck, and do these pop flashes. If you swap Brokey's bin lineup with Rain's lineup, you will have a very nice and easy nade set to use. Karrigan will use his art smoke where it lands in front of the stairs that gives you clever cover and allows the T's to either go left, right, or right through the smoke. He will then combine this with a nice flash that will blind players towards these close angles near the stairs. Using the cover of the smoke, he's going to throw molly towards truck along with Brokey's molly, just for a bit more flames. With all this utility, Twist will run out onto the bomb site, molly bank, clear truck. He will then try to flash long just in case if a CT was there, but well, he misses the flash. Now for the B bomb site. FaZe is going to do a molly execute, which I really like as it seems quick and easy to get your team onto the bomb site after throwing it. FaZe is going to have 3 people towards Monster and 2 on short. Twist is going to throw a molly for ramp, which will help him when he pushes out Monster first, as he can clear close. Rots will do a pop flash to get the CTs who are playing anti-flash to look towards Monster, where more flashes will come in. Or if they're looking towards the angle, they're just going to be forced off it. From here, Rops will molly CT to deny the rotations and push out with Twists. Brokey will be at the back trying to molly Toxic, then tries to hold the flank, but his molly does miss. To throw the molly, just come towards the end of the stairs, aim towards the bottom part of the track, and run and left click throw, something like this. Karrigan will be on short where he stands here, aim at this dot, and left click throw this flash. This flash is very hard to dodge and it's difficult to spot, and will get the majority of the site, including plays behind pillar and pit. After the flash, Karrigan will try to molly graffiti, but does miss it. This is how you do the molly. You just look at the dot, aim here, and left click throw. After the molly, Karrigan will go out, he waits around until FaZe secure the site, and he holds short where he will later get a free key and make that money. Lastly, Rain will be entering onto the bomb site. He waits for a peek, once the molly and flashes go out, he will push out with him, clear Toxic, then pit. if you don't have short control, an execute you could do for Monster is this one right here. But there are a few mistakes I will brush over and show you how to fix. In this round, FaZe are waiting outside Monster for the utility to go out, but once ready, Rops will try to smoke off Heaven, which he does miss. He will then second entry with Rain, but Rain does have quite a bit of util on his belt. Meanwhile, Karrigan will fall flashbangs, which do get the CTs on the bomb site away from the angle, but only for a bit. And Brokey will just hold for a peek and join the group. But when they try to execute, it will just fall flat. To fix the mistakes, I think Rain should give his flashbangs or all of his utility to Brokey or Karrigan, so they can chain the flashbangs together, so when they're at this point and they execute, the CTs are still blind and can allow FaZe to push up. Rop's missed smoke wasn't a massive issue in this round, but it needs sorting out. You can do his lineup by getting stuck in this corner, aiming here, and run and jump for once you hit these rocks. Lastly, I think Brokey should be helping Karrigan with the utility, or he should be doing it himself, as pushing with an ult while Heaven is supposed to be smoke doesn't seem like the best idea. When viewing FaZe's Overpass, 29.5% of the time they will do a heavy A, 29.5% of the time they will do a balanced default, and the rest of the time they will do a heavy B. But it is worth noting a lot of the times when they do a heavy B, they will later then transition into a heavy A or a balanced default. But using these variations of defaults can make it very hard to read you, and along with good calls from your IGL, you can be solid on the map. If you have any pros or positions you want me to break down next, feel free to put in the comments below and I'll have a look. Maybe you want to check out the Overpass instant smokes from Spawn? Well, I made a video which you can check out in the description. Apart from that, thanks for watching, see you in a bit.